Well, hello, it's Neil Cook, the Psychic Chef, here on my YouTube channel, and as promised, part 2 using these amazing sauces, the O.G.U range. Spicy sauces, local to the northeast, so we're going to theme the meal today on a traditional northeast style Parmesan. This is going to be amazing to taste, very simple to make, and I'm going to serve it up with some delicious coleslaws, slaw, and not forgetting this amazing Mayo and spicy sauce range. So stay with me, guys. So all we need is the basic chicken from our supermarket. It doesn't matter how it was brought up and grown. Trim the fats from the chicken, which is normally easier once it's cut to size. So there's two parts of the chicken. We have the outer breast of the chicken, and then if we flip it over, we have that wavy side of it, which is the part closest to the bone. Some people do butterfly these. They cut them straight down the middle, open them up, and then bash the living daylight out of them to break down all the fibrous tissue before putting it in the oven as a Parmesan chicken. We're going to do it very simple. All we're going to do is lay it on its smooth side like that. We're going to keep our knife nice and flat, and making sure it's sharp. We're just slowly going to cut through this piece of chicken, following that line, and then out the other side. Doesn't have to be perfect, they don't have to be the same thickness, although these are very much similar. And when we cook it in the oven, we're going to lay it breast side down, so that nice smooth side we've just cut there is going to be where we are putting our flour, egg and breadcrumb. So one breast will do 2 pieces, depending on your appetite. That might be enough. I'm going to get another big piece out there again, a huge big piece, smooth side down. Let's just move them over to here. Get the rounded edge first, halfway through, and very simple and gently, keeping your hand away from that blade and nice and flat, just slice straight through like that. You do need a sharp knife, otherwise you'll be all over the place. And there's our very smooth side now, and the same with the bottom part of it. Again, same process, flour, egg and breadcrumb, then straight into a hot pan. Right, so we're going to get some metal tongs. We're going to get our first piece of chicken, and we're going to now place it in the flour. Turn it over, ensuring the flour's coated the chicken so it's completely dry. And now that we've known the flour's coating it, we can now touch it with our hands and pat it down. This way we're not getting any sticky gunk on our hands, and that's nice and clean. And then we can lay it in our egg, and then with our tongs we coat both sides, ensuring a good coating, because this is now going to allow our breadcrumb to stick. So if we just get any excess off, put our breadcrumb over the top of it, little shake, get it turned over, and one sticky free piece of chicken all ready for its topping and then the oven. So we'll just lay it on that chopping board, and the same again, our flour, generous coating, ensuring it's completely covered, into the egg, ensuring it's fully coated, drain off any excess, and then into the breadcrumb, ensuring it's fully coated in the crumb as well. And as you can see, there's our next piece. I'm going to do 2 fillets a piece, although I've got more fillets there for someone else who's going to call by and pick them up. Fully coated. And 1 more piece. So these can be made up like this and stored in a tub and used later on in your day. Or if your tub is sealable, then obviously they'll last more than a day before use. Or you could cook them off, and ensuring they're fully cooked, there's no reason why you can't eat one of these cold, just like my friend does with the chicken Kievs. Our 4 fillets, which is 2 breasts, ready for the topping. So we have the frying pan on a low heat now with oil in, and because we know these are quite thin because we cut them ourselves, I'm going to do roughly around 2 to 3 minutes on each side, and then any undercooking which may happen here will be finished off in the oven. And all we want is a nice brown coat on each side. We don't want them charred, we don't want them brittle, we just want to evenly cook them. Just leave them sit there, try not to touch, give them around 3 minutes and then have a look. So I'm now turning them over, and as you can see, just a slight coating on each side, because the finishing touches for the cooking process is going to be within the oven. So we've done the chicken on both sides, around 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and as you can see we've got that golden effect on it, but we're going to finish off the cooking in the oven itself. Our salad ready, don't forget we've got the coleslaw to come and the red cabbage slaw. Got some fresh tomatoes for garnish, some basil which has been chopped up very fine, and that's going to be sprinkled with the tomato sauce I've made. And it's not a puree, it's not a ketchup, it's a pizza style base. And what I'm going to do, and I know a lot of people put the white sauces on here and the lasagna sauces and then the cheese and everything else, but I'm just being creative and I'm showing you it's not all about just cooking the basic Parmesan with all the traditional ingredients. So what I'm going to do is put this rich tomato sauce which I've made on here, and it has got puree and it has got purified tomatoes in. It's not a passata, it's a very thick pizza-like base sauce we've got. That will just give it a different flavour altogether, a different bite in the mouth, a different kick as we bite into it. And another thing I've done, anyone who likes the really strong hard mature cheddars, instead of putting a Parmesan white cheese on here, I'm going to put one of them very hard mature cheddars on here, which will be very bold, very strong, just like your Parmesan cheese. When you put that on, a unique kick within itself. So we'll just separate these so they've got more space to cook, and that way when all the cheeses ooze out and off the top of each one, when it comes to scooping them back up and serving them on a plate, it'll be one huge amalgamated pile of food together. So this is just normal red Leicester and white cheese, which I'm going to put on first. I'm going to be very generous. We have the oven on at about 160 in order to continue to heat these and melt them. That's one. This is the extra mature cheese, very strong, similar to a Parmesan when it comes to that bold kick, and I've grated some of this and we're going to put this over the top, and that's going to substitute the Parmesan cheese itself. So we're going to make the coleslaw now, and all we need is carrot, white cabbage and a white onion, depending on how much you're making and how many for. So we'll start with the white cabbage, and we're going to slice it very finely. Just get rid of that piece. Wafer thin. And you have to remember about who's eating this, because what we don't want is pieces of food hanging out the mouth when they're eating this coleslaw, looking like shoelaces. So you may have to chop it again and again. All I'm going to do now is just probably inch to inch and a half lengths, which makes it biteable. We'll pop it into this tub, and the same with the onion. This wants to be slightly a bit bigger. There is a trick you can do with this. Once you cut it, if you rinse it in cold water, it just takes the sharpness away from the onion and it gives it a more perfumed taste. And what I'm going to use is my little slicer dicer. Captures all the food in there. You don't want to overpower it with the carrot because it'll just look like a huge orange amount of coleslaw. Let's move that out of the way to clean it. And they're manageable pieces, so they're good for bite size. I'm just going to pop it in there. So there's our base for the coleslaw. All we need to do now is add mayonnaise when we're ready. Whilst the mayonnaise is very fresh with these vegetables, then it'll taste absolutely gorgeous. So we're now going to make not a coleslaw but a slaw. So again, very finely sliced into manageable mouth pieces. Don't want it too thick. And we're going to do something special with this, and if you follow what I'm going to show you, it'll be your perfect burger topping, just a dressed salad, your pita bread, your flatbread meals, and it gives it an amazing crunch. You do have to like salt, but you can control the amount of salt which you put on there, and it gives it a unique flavour. So that's probably more than enough. Again, manageable mouthpieces. So there we go, all chopped and into a bowl. And we're going to get our salt and give it a good coating of salt. And as you know, salt with food will sweat out all the water, and I'm giving it a hard squeeze and crunch to allow that salt to penetrate this red cabbage. Good squeeze on every turn. And now what we're going to do is just add a tiny bit of apple cider vinegar, whichever one you prefer, whether it's a local brand from your supermarket. All we want to do is just, that will be more than enough, and that's just going to give it a lovely zesty crunchy bite. So one more mix, and this is just going to add this added flavour to our Parmesan which we're making. Just a little amount on the side of the plate or in a bowl, and it'll be an amazing taste. How nice does that look? So this is going to be a garlic mayonnaise. Very simple, very basic, but extremely tasty. If anyone has received a jar similar to that size off me with my garlic mayonnaise in, my friends and family, this is your option to tell the viewers, or this is your chance to tell the viewers how tasty this simple garlic sauce tastes. So it's 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. I use Asda's mayonnaise because 1, it's extremely cheap, 2, it doesn't taste of egg, and it's got a zesty taste, and it's so simple that flavour with this garlic and the parsley I'm going to add to it, tubbed up in there for one day, it tastes absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, anyone who's tasted this garlic mayonnaise I make and they're watching this video, then it's your chance to leave a comment and tell the viewers what it really tastes like. So slice your 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. And now dice them. This will actually last in the refrigerator for weeks and weeks and weeks. But once you've made this, you'd be lucky for it to last one day, because it just has this amazing flavour, unique, very basic and simple. So we get our mayonnaise, pop it all into there. Now take our garlic, there we go, and pop that into there. And then get some dried parsley and start off with about that much and give it a good mix. And like I say, the longer you have this marinating, the tastier it gets. And this won't last a week in my house, this. But we're just going to add a little tiny bit at the side of the meal tonight with this. And there it is. Better than any shop bought garlic mayonnaise. All we're going to do now is just pop them in the oven, like I say, about 160. And we continue to heat what's already cooked, and we're going to thoroughly melt that cheese now, and we'll give that around 5 to 10 minutes. We're almost ready. We're going to add our mayonnaise to the coleslaw. Here's the portion coming out the oven, as you can see, with the mature cheddar all melted in, pizza based sauce, and then obviously the Parmesan underneath. Let's build a plate full of mouth-watering flavour now. Right guys, this is one chicken breast, as you've seen, being cooked with all the cheeses on. Now what we're going to do is build the plate up with all the flavoursome veg, bit by bit. Our red cabbage, our tomato, make sure I don't mix the tongs up. Or do I use my clean hands, which I've washed about 30 times. Our crisp lettuce, some carrot, some cucumber. Can't not have some homemade coleslaw. Not forgetting Neil's infamous garlic mayonnaise. Certainly need a big dollop. You have to make this mayonnaise, guys. You have to make it. Some fresh basil, shredded to complement the tomato base within the chicken. And do I go for the grim creeper, the devil's kiss? I got it right, Stephen. Ring of Fire, which I've already tried, and I know the other flavours are somewhat milder. I'm gonna go for the chili mayo over the salad. Just pop a bit on there. This is absolutely gorgeous, this chili mayo. We all like mayonnaise and we all like chili, and if you don't, then you're on the wrong channel. So I'm gonna go with the Devil Kiss. I know it's hotter than the Ring of Fire. I had no trouble with the Ring of Fire, so part 2 is Devil's Kiss, and we're gonna generously pour it all over my homemade chicken parmo, and with every cut I make, it's gonna seep into the nice juicy white chicken. As you can see in the sauce, all the bits of the peppers they've used to make this, and you have to remember this is homegrown. It's not off some production line, organically grown. with artificial colours and preservatives put into it in order to last forever. Once you get this, you're going to be eating it very, very soon. Some people drinking it in my family. So yes, look out for it, guys. O.G.U, the chili sauce range and the mayonnaise range, it's absolutely fantastic. They do a mint sauce as well, which is this one, and this, I'm surprised my partner Vicky hasn't drunk it yet because it's that nice. And I do like a good mint sauce, and believe me, that'll be on my next shopping list when that goes dry. Just had some garnish, some spring onion, and I hope this is making your mouth water, and a nice piece of red onion. So there you go, let's get the thumbnail. Thanks for watching, guys. We're going to come back next week with part 3, introducing the O.G.U hot sauce, and I'm going to go with the Grim Reaper if I've survived after the Devil's Kiss, and I know I will. Very earthly taste. You know it's come out of a farmer's field when you taste it. It's like there's a difference between production food and homegrown food. If you remember your dad's radishes when you were a kid, you couldn't eat them because they were so hot. Tell me where you can buy your radish now from the supermarket, which is too hot to eat. They don't exist anymore unless they're homegrown, and that's the exact same concept with O.G.U sauces. It's a bit of a mouthful, that, but it is. It's a unique flavour, very earthly, if that makes sense. You know it's come out of fresh soil, homegrown, natured by a family to perfection. So thanks for joining, guys. Hope you're well, and look forward to part 2, and I'll see you then.
My
Take
name
care,
up
guys.
there, all shiny and new, on a billboard 20 feet tall, coming soon. We're all stars that are falling at the speed of sound. My name they be calling, I just ain't been found. 1,000 nights, 1,000 flights, to see my name up there in lights. It don't matter how far, when you're born to be a star. Here's the thing, I wanna make you proud, and that's the truth to